Welcome to this week's Retail Reality Check, where we cut through the hype and look at the tech that's actually changing the game in retail. I'm glad you're here, and this is all brought to you by our friends at IHL Group. But first things first, a quick invitation you are not going to want to miss. Be sure to join the IHL Webinar Analyst Recap of the NRF show. It's happening this Tuesday, January 27th at 11 a.m. Eastern. We've got an amazing panel: Greg Busick, Jerry Sheldon, Lee Holman, and Ricardo Belmart. They are going to give you the real, unfiltered inside look: what was good, what wasn't, and what was just pure vaporware. Seriously, it's the kind of insight you just won't get anywhere else. Okay, with that, let's dive into this week's big idea. We're talking about where the real return on investment is when it comes to retail AI.
And this quote from IHL's Greg Busick, it just nails it. We are seeing this massive shift right now. For a while, AI was all about these flashy, customer-facing parlor tricks. But the real money, the real value, it's in the practical stuff, the operational applications that act like a new electric fence. You know, something that actually protects the business and shores up the bottom line.
So let's start with our first proof point, which is a perfect example of this electric fence idea in action. We're going to talk about how AI is being used to protect physical assets and stop loss before it even has a chance to happen. So picture this: your big brand tire in service, and you are just getting hammered by after-hour security nightmares. We're talking trespassing, theft, vandalism. I mean, a single broken window could run you over $1,000, but a full-on break-in? That was costing them over $15,000 per incident. That's not a small problem. It's a constant bleed on their resources. So what did they do? They installed a virtual perimeter guard. And listen, this is not your grandma's security camera that just sits there and records a crime. No. This is a proactive system. It uses AI-powered cameras that can tell when something's not right. And the moment it detects suspicious activity, it triggers deterrents. Strobe lights flash, automated audio warnings tell the intruders to get lost. It literally stops the crime before it starts. And the results? They're just staggering. Get this: a full 91% of all security events were handled completely by the automated system. That means no manager getting a 3 a.m. phone call, no need to send out security. The AI just handled it. And you can see how effective it was. Within just a few weeks, the total number of security activations dropped by 65%. And why is that? It's because the word got out. Repeat offenders learned to stay away. That electric fence was doing its job, actually changing behavior and turning the location into a hard target. Now that is what immediate ROI looks like. So the reality check from IHL on this is pretty clear. Operational protection is where retailers can get immediate margin recovery. In fact, our research shows that winning retailers are 50% more likely to be focusing their AI on loss prevention. And when you think about the $1.7 trillion cost of inventory distortion, from theft, from errors, this move from just reactively recording crime to proactively deterring it, well, it's not just a nice to have, it's becoming a survival strategy. Okay, so let's shift gears and move to our second proof point, because the same principle we just talked about applies to the back end of the business too. Some of the smartest tech out there is being implemented far away from the sales floor, in those less visible but absolutely critical parts of the operation. Let's start with a really interesting puzzle that Amazon's been working on. We all know their Just Walk Out technology, right? But how do you take that concept and make it work outside of a perfectly controlled grocery store? How do you make it work at a huge stadium or a temporary pop-up shop at a festival where installing hundreds of cameras just isn't going to happen? Well, the answer, it turns out, is to pivot. And this is fascinating. While that complex computer vision with all the cameras is great for things in boxes, it kind of struggles with soft goods, like a stock of t-shirts. For these more flexible, rapid deployment scenarios, RFID is really proving to be the adult in the room. It's portable, you can set it up in a few hours, and it gives you near-perfect inventory accuracy, which, as IHL has been saying for years, is the absolute foundation of retail excellence. And then look at this from L'Oreal. They are optimizing the supply chain before a product even physically exists. It's incredible. They're using virtual twin technology to create these digital models of new products and their packaging. Then they can simulate everything: how well it works, how durable it is, what the design looks like, all in a virtual world. They only commit to the expensive process of physical production after it's been proven out digitally. This completely erases the massive costs of making physical prototypes that fail. IHL has a great term for this: feeding the future. By shifting research and development into this data-driven environment, L'Oreal is creating a huge competitive advantage. It's not just about being faster, it's about saving money and being more sustainable. It creates this single unified thread of data that runs from the very first spark of an idea all the way to when a customer buys it. That's a total game changer. Okay, now to really get a sense of how widespread these trends are, let's pick up the pace and do a quick lightning round. The speed of innovation is just accelerating across every single part of the industry. Ready? Let's go. JD Sports is launching AI-powered search for its U.S. customers, making it super easy to go from finding a product to buying it with just one click. Costco just pulled back the curtain on its entire retail media tech stack, basically saying that being transparent with its partners is the fastest way to its main goal, selling more stuff. Papa John's is using a new AI from Google to make ordering for a big group feel like a simple, natural conversation instead of a complicated operational headache.
CVS Health is deep in a huge backend project, building an AI platform to finally connect its pharmacy, insurance, and healthcare services into one simple experience for you and me.
The retailer DTLR deployed a new mobile point-of-service system to 200 stores in just 24 hours, with nobody on site to help. Talk about operational speed. And over in the UK, Edgbaston Stadium is using RFID for an automated cup return system. Fans just drop their cups in a smart bin and boom, they get their deposit back automatically. It's another brilliant example of a simpler tech solving a huge operational problem. Okay, let's take a breath. After that whirlwind tour of what's happening out there, what's the big takeaway? Let's boil it all down to where the smart money and the smart strategies are really going in retail today. Well, it's pretty clear, right? The whole focus of AI has shifted away from those flashy parlor tricks and toward practical, high ROI operations. The real tangible value is being found in two key areas: securing the perimeter, like we saw at Big Brand Tire, and optimizing the heck out of the back-end supply chain. We're also seeing that sometimes simpler tech, like RFID, is actually more powerful and flexible than the super complex stuff in the real world. And the bottom line is, this pace of change isn't just in one corner of retail. It's hitting absolutely everything, from the point of sale all the way back to R&D. And look, this was really just scratching the surface. For the full stories, a ton of additional news, and 40 more case studies that go even deeper into all of this, I really encourage you to visit ihlservices.com. Thanks so much for tuning in.
I'm terrified about the Abercrombie presentation because I don't have the right data to close the deal.
No problem. JustAskGreg.ai.
This business plan is a nightmare. I can't find reliable forecasts for the total available market.
That's easy. Just ask Greg AI.
This sounds nice, but where is the total available forecast?
I don't have it.
You don't know? Try Just Ask Greg AI.
Stop guessing. JustAskGreg.ai democratizes elite analyst services.
We use real-time, proprietary data that doesn't hallucinate or just make stuff up. It's intelligence you can trust.
Get the data. Close the deal. Visit JustAskGreg.ai today.
Don't forget to redeem your free month of JustAskGreg.ai. This gives you access to IHL's free and paid research. You can get account coaching, forecasts, and even key strategic details on retailers based on IHL's Sophia, Worldview, and proprietary research. JustAskGreg.ai, your home for hard data retail research.